This is my continuing coverage of the healthcare law. We are actually on the bottom of page number 85, and we were talking about in the last video section 1332, which is a waiver for state innovation. What this is actually saying to everybody, and I'm going to skip a lot of this because it really has nothing to do with us, is that if your particular state is standing there saying, hey, we don't need your federal Affordable Care Act because we have a program that's just as good, if not better, than yours. If they can prove that to the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the Secretary of Health and Human Services will say, hey, look, you're not eligible for federal tax credits, but if you want to run the program your way, you go right ahead, I'll grant you a waiver. That's what this is all about. Okay? I have yet to see the Secretary of Health and Human Services grant any state any waivers for setting up a program that is better or just as good as the Affordable Care Act. But anyway, that's what Section 1332 is all about. I was starting to go into page number 86, which talks about the requirements for applying for such a waiver. You have to regulate the funding for this health insurance is supposed to be just as good as the health care, the Affordable Care Act. And, I mean, this just talks about all this stuff. If you want to look this part up, you are more than welcome to. We're going to skip a lot of this because, wow, to get a waiver is really, it's hard. So this really has nothing to do with you unless, of course, your particular state has applied for one of these waivers, and then it has something to do with you. But most states won't, because either some of them will be afraid of the Health Care Act, or they just simply cannot come up with something that's going to be better than the Health Care Act, or so. Yeah, whatever their reasons. Okay. Alright, now let's go into section 1333, provisions relating to offering of plans in more than one state. Healthcare choice compacts in general, not later than July 1st, 2013, the Secretary shall, in consultation with the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, issue regulations for the creation of healthcare choice compacts under which two or more states may enter into agreement under which one or more qualified health plans could be offered in the individual markets in all such states, but except as provided in subparagraph B, only be subject to the laws and regulations of the state in which the plan was written or issued. Now, what is this talking about? Well, let's say that some insurance company wants to offer the same health coverage in two different states. Well, they can, if they get into an agreement with the states and with the federal government. Okay? The issuer of any qualified health plan to which the compact applies will continue to be subject to market conduct, unfair trade practices, network adequacy, and consumer protection standards, including standards relating to rating, including addressing disputes as to performance of the contract of the state in which the purchaser resides. So, basically, the health plan would be created in one state, but be offered in a second one. Would be required to be licensed in each state in which it offers the plan under the compact, or to submit to the jurisdiction of each such state with regard to the standards described in Clause 1, must clearly notify consumers that the policy may not be subject to all the laws and regulations of the state in which the purchaser resides. State authority. A state may not enter into an agreement under this subsection unless the state enacts a law after the date of the enactment of this title that specifically authorizes the state to enter into such agreements. Approval of compacts. The Secretary may approve interstate health care choice compacts under paragraph 1 only if the Secretary determines that such health care choice compact will provide the coverage that is at least as comprehensive as the coverage defined in section 1302B and offered through exchanges established under this title, would provide coverage and cost-sharing protections against excessive out-of-pocket spending that are at least as affordable as the provisions of this title would provide, will provide coverage to at least a comparable number of its residents as the provisions of this title would provide, will not increase the federal deficit, and will not weaken enforcement of laws and regulations described in paragraph 1B1 in any state that is included in such a compact. Okay. Then it gives the effective date, which is January 1st, 2016. And then we have authority for nationwide plans, except as provided in paragraph 2 of an issuer, including a group health insurance issuer affiliated either by common ownership or control. Whew. Okay. The issuer of the plan may offer the nationwide qualified health plan in the individual or small group market in more than one state, and with respect to state laws mandating benefit coverage by a health plan, only the state laws of the state in which such a plan is written or issued shall apply to the nationwide qualified health plan. State opt-out and plan requirements. A state may, by specific reference in a law enacted after the date of the enactment of this title, provide that the subsection shall not apply to that state. Such opt-out shall be effective until such time as the state by law revokes it. Plan requirements. An issuer meets the requirements of this subsection with respect to a nationwide qualified health plan if, in the determination of the Secretary, the plan offers benefit package that is uniform in each state. So in other words, whatever health coverage they're offering in one state, they have to offer it to every state that they're wanting to cover. Can't be different for different states. Okay. The issuer is licensed in each state in which it offers the plan and is subject to all requirements of state law not inconsistent with this section, including but not limited to the standards and requirements that a state imposes that do not prevent the application of the requirement. The issuer meets all requirements of this title with respect to a qualified health plan, including the requirement to offer the silver and gold levels of the plan in each exchange in the state for the market which the plan is offered. Oh my gosh, this thing keeps going on and on and on. The issuer determines the premiums for the plan in any state on the basis of the rating rules in effect in that state for the rating areas in which it's offered. In other words, these plans that are being offered have to be competitive in each one of the states. The issuer offers the nationwide qualified health plan in at least 60% of the participating states in the first year in which the plan is offered, 65% in such states in the second year, yada yada yada, going all the way up to 80%. The issuer shall offer the plan in participating states across the country, in all geographic regions, and in all states that have adopted adjusted community rating before the date of enactment of this act. So in other words, if he's offering it to one state, he has to offer it to all the states that want it. Okay. The issuer clearly notifies consumers. Now we're on page 90 here. The issuer clearly notifies consumers that the policy may not contain some benefits otherwise mandated for plans in the state in which the purchaser resides. It provides a detailed statement of benefits offered and the benefit differences in that state in accordance with the rules promulgated by the Secretary. So, if State A is offering health insurance to State B, then the coverages that are expected for those that are offered in State B may not be in State A's coverage. And they have to tell the consumers that. And it just goes on and on and on. They give you the form review of the nationwide plans, the applicable rules, and the Secretary shall provide that the health benefits coverage provided to an individual through a nationwide qualified health plan under the subsection shall include at least the essential benefits package provided in Section 1302, So there are 8 things that this thing has to offer you no matter what, no matter where they're insuring you from, no matter which state they're insuring you from, they have to offer the basic 8. That's what it's saying. Then they got state law mandating benefit coverage by a health benefits plan. So some states will offer extra things besides the basic 8. Other states will not. Alright, I'm going to stop this video right here. I'm going to tell you more in my next video, so stay tuned.